Austin Algorithm Awakening. The summer heat in Austin clung to everything like a bad bed, relentless, unforgiving, and promising relief that never came. Zara Khalid stared at the dual monitors in her home office, the glow casting sharp shadows across her angular face. It was 2:17 a.m., and the cicadas outside their South Congress bungalow droned like a faulty server fan. Her fingers hovered over the keyboard, not typing, just tracing the edge of a command prompt. Code was her sanctuary, lines of Python and Solidity weeding safety nets where human trust had frayed. Jax, her husband of 7 years, the golden boy of Austin's crypto scene, had stumbled in at midnight, reeking of craft IPAs and that synthetic citrus cologne he sprayed to mask the sweat of South by Southwest after-parties. 6XW had wrapped 2 weeks ago, but the hangover lingered in their marriage like a blockchain transaction, irreversible, immutable, and growing more toxic by the block. He kissed her forehead, mumbled something about networking with VCs, and collapsed into their king-size bed, his Fitbit buzzing faintly against the Egyptian cotton sheets. Zara didn't follow. She never did anymore. Instead, she slipped into the office, the door clicking shut like a vault. The room was a fortress of minimalism. White walls lined with framed algorithms from her grad school days at UT Austin, standing desks scarred from late-night debugging sessions, and a mini fridge humming with LaCroix and leftover kolaches from Franklin Barbecue. This was her domain, far from the neon chaos of Rainy Street where Jax chased the next meme coin high. She'd met him at a Techstars demo day in 2018, back when Bitcoin was still flirting with $6,000, and Austin was just starting to shed its Keep Austin Weird skin for Silicon Hills polish. Jax Harlan with his tousled band hair, venture-backed swagger, and pitch about democratizing DeFi for the everyman. "We're building the future, babe," he'd said, his blue eyes locking onto hers across a crowded co-working space at Capital Factory. Zara, fresh off her NSA internship, where she'd honed her skills cracking encrypted chatter for cyber threats, had been skeptical. But his energy was infectious, a viral loop of charisma and half-baked ideas. She signed on as his unofficial CTO, crunching data for his startup Harlan Chain while keeping her day job at a fintech firm downtown. They married in a hill country vineyard under string lights and the distant low of longhorns. Zara wore a simple white sheath dress, Jax a custom slim-fit suit from a Barton Springs tailor. Vows exchanged over craft whiskey and blockchain toasts. "To immutable love," he'd quipped. And the crowd, mostly tech bros and their plus ones, had roared. For the first 3 years, it felt real. They bootstrapped Harlan Chain into a $50 million valuation, Zara's algorithms optimizing smart contracts while Jax glad-handed at events. They bought the bungalow with a low-interest loan from a crypto lender, turning the backyard into a koi pond oasis. Weekends meant kayaking on Ladybird Lake, tacos at Torchy's, and lazy afternoons coding side projects on the porch swing. But cracks formed like fissures in a smart contract. Jax's networking trips multiplied. Vegas for CES, Miami for Bitcoin conference, and endless SXW bashes where he'd vanish into VIP tents with influencers and models. The first red flag was the perfume. Not his usual Tom Ford, but something floral and aggressive, like overripe peonies. It lingered on his hoodies, the ones she'd bought him from the UT co-op, then the late deposits into their shared Coinbase wallet, unexplained ETH transfers from anonymous wallets that traced back to pump and dump Telegram groups. Zara noticed because she always noticed. Data didn't lie. People did. During her NSA days, she'd sifted terabytes of metadata, spotting patterns in noise, a spike in encrypted pings before a terrorist cell moved, or anomalous traffic from a foreign embassy. Applying that to Jax was child's play. She started with his phone, unlocked with the same PIN as their smart lock, 42069, his idea of edgy humor. Late one night, while he snored off a client dinner, she mirrored his iCloud to her laptop. Texts from Venture Vixen 87, "Missed you at the after party, when's round 2?" Photos from a yacht in Miami, Jax shirtless, arm around a brunette with influencer cheekbones. Betrayal hit like a 51% attack, sudden, systemic. But Zara didn't rage. Rage was hot code, buggy and prone to exploits. She went cold, compiling evidence in an encrypted drive hidden behind a decoy folder labeled cat memes, screenshots of chats, wallet addresses, even geolocation pings from his AirPods tying him to hotel rooms on 6th Street. The affairs were personal wounds, but the schemes? Those were federal felonies. Jax wasn't just cheating, he was running a shadow operation. Harlan Chain's public face was ethical DeFi, but behind the scenes, he orchestrated pumps on shitcoins like Ape Moon and Tesla Fart, luring retail investors via Reddit AMAs and Twitter Spaces. Buy low with insider tips, hype on Discord, dump high, and repeat. PC bait wrapped in Austin cool. She confronted him once 6 months in, over breakfast at Kirby Lane. Jax, the transfers don't add up. And who's Vixen? He'd laughed it off, buttering his pancake with performative nonchalance. Babe, it's just crypto volatility. Vixen is a pseudonym for a contact, nothing more. You're overanalyzing, like always. His eyes, that piercing blue she'd once loved, flicked to his phone. A notification buzzed, another wallet alert. Zara let it slide, fork scraping her plate. But inside, the algorithm shifted. No more blind faith. She forked the repo of their life, versioning her exit strategy. Now at 2:30 a.m., with the AC whispering cool air over her bare arms, Zara opened her terminal. Git clone https://github.com/Zara-K/whistle, her private repo, forked from an open source SEC tip line aggregator. She'd built it during her internship, a tool for anonymous drops on market manipulations. Irony tasted like the bitter dregs of her cold brew. Jax's snores filtered through the wall, rhythmic like a mining rig. She pulled up his wallet via a backdoor she'd planted months ago, a subtle Trojan in the Harlan Chain app update he'd pushed to their home network. The ledger unspooled 47 suspicious transactions, totaling $2.3 million in laundered gains. Patterns screamed fraud. Synchronized buys before Jax's educational tweets, dumps synced to his cell signals and private chats. One thread linked a burner account run by his SXW fling, Vixen, real name Leela Voss, a 25-year-old TikTok crypto guru with 500K followers. They'd co-orchestrated a 800K pump on Lone Star Lambo, a coin themed after Austin's weirdness, complete with NFT drops of pixelated Teslas. Investors, mostly normies chasing the dream, lost shirts while Jax and Leela jetted to Coachella on the profits. Zara's stomach twisted, not from jealousy, but disgust. This wasn't ambition, it was predation, a virus in the blockchain's promise of decentralization. She'd believed in the tech once, seen it as a tool for the underserved, remittances for her immigrant parents from Pakistan, microloans for UT alums starting side hustles. Jax had twisted it into a casino for the connected. She cross-referenced with public data, SEC filings, CoinMarketCap APIs, even scraped Reddit threads from r/Wall Street Bets. The noose tightened. Evidence compiled into a dossier, PDFs of transaction hashes, timelines synced to his calendar invites, audio clips from a poker night where he'd bragged to bros about printing money while the sheep FOMO in. One file, timestamped last week, a voice memo of him and Leela in a Barton Springs hotel, mid-coitus, plotting the next dump. Zara skipped the moans, focusing on the metadata. By 4 a.m., the package was ready. A 50 MB zip, encrypted with AES 256, routed through Tor nodes she'd set up via her old NSA playbook. The whistleblower app, Crypto Leaker, a dark web Dropbox run by ex-SEC insiders, awaited. She typed the upload command, finger steady as a heartbeat. No flourish, no dramatic pause. Just send_evidence.py -target equals SEC -anon equals true. The progress bar crept. 10%, 47%, 100%. Receipt pinged. Anonymized tip number TX 2025-029 filed. Estimated review, 72 hours. Zara leaned back, the ergonomic chair creaking. Dawn crept over the Colorado River, painting the skyline in bruised purples. She poured a LaCroix, the fizz sharp against her tongue. Sleep? Unnecessary. This was the cold fire her mother had taught her. Precise, unemotional, burning slow enough to cauterize. Zara Khalid, a single mom who'd fled Karachi with Zara as a toddler, had raised her on stories of quiet strength. Men like that think tears are leverage. Give them silence, then strike the foundation. Amira now runs a halal food truck on Congress Avenue, slinging biryani to techies. Zara had called her last month, voice steady. He's building on sand, ma. I'm the tide. Jax woke at 9:15, groaning like a hungover algorithm. Z, you up? Coffee? He padded into the kitchen in boxers, scratching his stubble oblivious to the digital guillotine swinging overhead. Zara was already dressed. Black jeans, a UT hoodie, laptop slung over her shoulder for her 10 a.m. stand-up at FinTech Austin. She handed him a mug, black, no sugar. Rough night? He grinned, that boyish charm flickering. SX, that's residuals, babe. Leela, some investor wants to collab on a podcast. Big exposure for Harlan Chain. He slurped, scrolling his phone. Zara watched the notifications pile up. 12 unread from his Tradle Hey, 8 moons up 15%. Told you my calls are gold. She nodded, sipping her own brew. Impressive, sighed. The counter ticked. 71 hours to review. She kissed his cheek, perfunctory, like debugging a minor glitch, and headed out. The drive to downtown was a blur of food trucks and e-scooters, Willie Nelson on KUTX crooning about outlaws. At the office, a gleaming WeWork knockoff in the Seahome district, Zara dove into her day job, auditing blockchain ledgers for a VC firm. Ironic, auditing the very ecosystem Jax was poisoning. Word spread like a fork in the chain. By noon, whispers in the break room. You hear about that crypto leaker drop? Some Austin bros about to get wrecked. Zara feigned interest, scrolling Slack. Her Anon account, Deep Chain Dive, had seeded the rumor on Reddit's r/cryptocurrency. TX whale exposed. Pump dump kinpin tied to SXSW. Evidence dropped. Upvotes surged. 2K, 5K, 10K. Comments exploded. This is why I hold gold. SEC, please investigate. LFG, burn the grifters. Jax texted at 2:47 p.m. WTF, my mentions are nuked. Someone doxed my strat? Zara replied, markets volatile. Lay low. She attached a heart emoji, the smallest lie. The crash hit Thursday, 48 hours post-drop. Zara was at a Barton Springs swim, chilly water shocking her skin like revelation, when her phone buzzed. Bloomberg alert. SEC probes Austin-based D5 firm Harlan Chain for alleged market manipulation. She surfaced, water streaming from her hijab, and scrolled. The article named Jax. Photos from SXSW panels, wallet addresses redacted but unmistakable. Sources close to the investigation point to coordinated pump and dump schemes involving meme coins with ties to social media influencers. Back home, Jax was a ghost in the machine. The bungalow reeked of stale Red Bull and panic sweat. He'd upended the living room, couch cushions flung, MacBook open to frozen exchanges. Zara, it's bullshit. Framing. Some competitor hacked my feeds. His eyes, wild, darted like a cornered script kiddie. She stood in the doorway, towel dripping, calm as a compiled binary. Evidence doesn't lie, Jax. Hashes don't fabricate. She dropped her towel in the hamper, walked to the fridge for yogurt. You built this. Own the deploy. He lunged at her, grabbing her arm, not hard, but desperate. You're my wife. Help me spin this. Call your NSA buddies. Bury it. The touch burned, a final exploit attempt. Zara twisted free, her Krav Maga training from UT days kicking in smooth as a rollback. I'm not your firewall anymore. I am the breach. His face crumpled, confusion, then comprehension dawning like a stack trace. You, the leak? Why? Because love's not a smart contract you can rug pull. She met his gaze, unblinking. You traded us for Lambos and likes. Now, pay the gas fees. The fallout was swift, a cascade failure. By Friday, Harlan Chain's valuation cratered 92%, investors pulling out like rats from a sinking raft consensus. Leela Voss went radio silent, her TikToks pivoting to lessons learned disclaimers. Jax's Lambo, champagne gold, leased on laundered funds, got repoed from the driveway at dawn. The tow truck's rumble waking neighbors. CC agents showed at noon. 2 suits in a black Suburban, badges flashing like error codes. Mr. Harlan, we need to talk about transaction ID 0x482F. Zara watched from the koi pond's edge, feeding the fish pellets that swirled like orphan tokens. Jax, cuffed, but not arrested yet, glared back through the window. "This isn't over, Zara. You'll regret it." She waved, serene. Commit complete. The divorce papers arrived via DocuSign. The next week, her lawyer, a sharp Latina from Waterloo Greenway, handling the uncontested split. Community property, the bungalow to her, debts to him. Crypto assets, frozen pending forfeiture. No alimony pleas. Jax was too proud, and Zara too done. She moved Amira in temporarily, the food truck parked out front like a sentinel. "Proud of you, Betha," her mom said over chai, the spice cutting the sterile air. Cold fire leaves no ashes. Rebuilding started small. A GitHub repo titled Chain Audit, open source tools for spotting fraud in DeFi. Zara quit FinTech Austin, her notice polite, pursuing impact-driven work. Seed funding came from unlikely places. A UT prof who'd mentored her internship, a women's VC collective at Capital Factory. By summer's end, she'd incorporated Zara's Ledger, a nonprofit auditing blockchain for social good. First project, transparent remittances for immigrant communities, cutting fees by 70% with her optimized contracts. Launch party at the Continental Club, dive bar vibes, but packed with allies, coders in ironic tees, activists with protest pins, even a few repentant bros. Zara took the mic, her voice steady over the hum of amps. Blockchain promised power to the people, but grifters turned it into a Ponzi playground. We're here to debug that. Audit the chains, empower the users. Cheers erupted, beers clinking like confirmed blocks. Jax? He pled out in federal court. A misdemeanor for starters, community service scrubbing servers at a data center. Last Zara heard, he was hawking NFT consulting in Houston. His Twitter bio scrubbed to lessons from the dip. She didn't follow. Unfollowed long ago. Nights now, Zara coded by the pond. Fireflies sinking to her cursor like decentralized nodes. Austin's heat broke eventually. Thunderstorms rolling in off the Gulf, washing clean the streets. She felt it too. The storms she'd unleashed, passing into clarity. The algorithm awakened, not in revenge, but reinvention. Immutable? No. Just upgraded. Word count, 1,872. Wait, that's short. Let me expand for depth. Extended narrative, the deep dive. To hit the mark, let's delve deeper into Zara's psyche, the Austin underbelly, and the unraveling threads. The city itself became a character, vibrant, volatile, a petri dish for dreams and delusions. Flashback to their early days. Post-wedding, they'd hike Barton Creek Greenbelt, Zara sketching neural nets on napkins, while Jax ranted about Web3 revolution. She'd laugh, her hijab fluttering in the breeze, feeling seen, not as the tech wife, but as partner in code. Her NSA internship had been a grind, 18-hour shifts in a Langley-adjacent bunker, parsing Arabic chatter for ISIS affiliates. Eyes only, her handler had said. It taught her vigilance, the art of seeing ghosts in the data stream. Jax called it spy shit, romanticizing it over Whataburger runs. But as Harlan chains scaled, his late nights at co-working lofts turned to strategy sessions at Shangri-La, the speakeasy on Colorado Street, where deals were sealed in dim light and dim sum. The first affair surfaced subtly. A forgotten Uber receipt for two to the Driscoll Hotel, time-stamped during her conference in San Francisco. Zara geo-fenced his phone that week, pings lighting up like malware alerts. Vixen, Lila, emerged as a constant, joined Twitter spaces on women in crypto, but private DMs laced with innuendo. Your voice in that panel, fire. Dinner after? Jax's replies, emojis, then coordinates. Zara's cold fire ignited in phases. Phase 1, passive logging. She installed a keylogger on their shared iMac, disguised as a browser extension. Phase 2, wallet mining. Using Etherscan APIs, she traced flows, building a graph and Neo4j, nodes for transactions, edges for accomplices. Lila's wallet linked to 3 dumps. A VC named Trent the Shark Mallory funneled seed money. Phase 3, the poker nights. Jax's guys game at a rainy street Airbnb where he'd host bros from Binance.us. Zara posed as caterer once, slipping a Raspberry Pi under the table to sniff Wi-Fi packets. Captured, Slack channels plotting moonshots, voice memos of Jax boasting. Zara's too busy with her spreadsheets to notice. She's my silent partner, keeps the lights on. The emotional toll. Buried deep, like a private key. Nights she'd drive to Mount Bonnell, overlooking the twinkling grid, tears hot on the wheel. "Why me?" she'd whisper to the stars. But Amira's words echoed. Consequences, not catharsis. Zara channeled it into runs along the Ann and Roy Butler hike and bike trail, pounding pavement until her lungs burned clean. The leaks ripple. By 24 hours post-drop, r/cryptocurrency hit 50K upvotes. Influencers piled on. CoffeeZella dropped a YouTube expose. 2 million views overnight. Austin's crypto cowboy. From SXW star to SEC snare. Jax's podcast invites dried up. Sponsors ghosted. He tried damage control. A tearful Twitter thread. Deeply hurt by false accusations. Transparency is my ethos. But the receipts were ironclad. Blockchain's curse, every TX eternal. Zara's nonprofit launch wasn't glamour, it was grind. She cold emailed 200 UT alums, pitching over Zoom from her mom's food truck during lunch rushes. First donor? A Pakistani-American banker, 10K for Remit Tech. They beta tested in East Austin, wiring funds to families in Lahore fee-free. Bugs fixed in sprints, latency down 40%, security audits via Zara's custom Solidity verifier. 6 months later, at SXW 2026, Zara attended solo, badge reading, founder Zara's ledger. She keynoted the blockchain track. Stage lights hot, crowd buzzing with skeptics and seekers. "We can't code our way out of greed," she said, slides flashing fraud graphs. "But we can audit it into oblivion." Q&A, a kid in a Longhorn hoodie asked, "What about the human cost?" Zara paused, Jax's face flickering unbidden. "That's why we build for good, not glory." Post-talk, a line formed for swag. USB drives with her open-source toolkit. Among them, Trent Mallory, sheepish and chinos. "Heard about Harlan. Deserved. Invest in yours?" Zara's smile, calculated, cold. Series seed only. Due diligence required. Back home, the bungalow bloomed. Amira's herbs and window boxes, koi thriving. Zara coded late, not from pain, but purpose. Austin's pulse. Live music drifting from 6th Street, bats swirling at Congress Bridge, felt like hers again. The algorithm had awakened, forking not just code, but a life uncompromised.